Happy Thursday, a day before spring break. All right, we're going to go ahead and look back at our work. We practiced looking at positive and negative numbers or integers. We've been working on our spiral review each day. We've had our YouTube lesson each day. We focused on turning decimals into fractions and reducing them, turning whole numbers with decimals into mixed numbers and reducing them. And we're going to be moving on to our lesson for today, writing decimals as percents. And then we also are going to be encouraging you, or I encourage you to come and work on Khan Academy. We use decimals and percents so much when you're out shopping because you don't want to pull out a calculator. And whenever you see a for sale sign, 20% off, 30% off, or half off, you're going to be using this skill, and it's something you're going to use all the time. I did put an Edulastic assessment. It's really short. I think it's less than 10 questions before you leave today for the holiday. I know you're not going anywhere. You're probably stuck in your house like I am, but go ahead and go on Edulastic, and this will stay open for about a week and a half where you can finish it up next time if you want. So I'm going to mark that off. And then I went ahead and put where we're going to start on Monday when we get back from our lesson. So we're going to backtrack and do a little bit of practice with our positive and negative numbers. We're going to see how you did. So let's go ahead and go to this bottom row down here, number 7, and then you can finish these up today. 4 times 5 is same signs. 5 times 10 is different signs. 8 times 9 is same signs. All right, you should be feeling really confident with these. And we're going to look at a few of the problems that you did yesterday before we move on. So our standard yesterday was writing a whole number, an integer, with a decimal into a fraction. So let's go ahead and do a couple of these harder ones. Let's do 5 and 6, and you can check the other ones later. Oh, these are as improper fractions. Let's go ahead and look at 4 and 5 on there as well. I didn't go over that, so we'll have to see how well were able to integrate all the stuff we've done in 5th grade with fractions. All right, so we're going to pull it apart. 10 is our whole number. We have tenths and hundredths. 55 hundredths. If you haven't already written your magic numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, prime numbers. 55 divided by 5 is 11. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 11 is prime, and 11 can't go into 20, so we can stop. All right, write your whole number. Then we're going to find our decimal, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Both are divisible by 5 because I know that any factors that end in 0 and 5 are divisible by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. I don't know what 1,000 divided by 5 is. I'm going to have to do my division. That's okay. 5 can't go into 1. 5 goes into 10. 0, 0. 200. All right, check number 4 and number 5. We have 2. Find your decimal, tenths, hundredths, and 8 hundredths. I'm going to go ahead and reduce this. I know that they can both be divided by 4 because I'm thinking about quarters. 2 and 2 25ths. Now it said to turn it into an improper fraction. You guys know how to do this. 25 times 2 plus 2. 52 over 25. We were just doing this in 5th grade algebra and 5th grade math. Remember, you can also think of it as wholes. 1 whole, 2 wholes, and 2 25ths, and you're still going to get 52 25ths. All right, we're going to try one more. 1 whole, find your decimal, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Uh-oh, they're both divisible by 5. So I'm going to come down here. I already know that 1,000 is going to be 200 because we just did it up here. But I don't know this one. Oh, look, they're both still divisible by 5. Oops. Oh, they're both still divisible by 5. All right, we got 1 and 5/8. Now I need to turn this into an improper fraction. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 5 is 13/8. Or you can think in your head, a whole plus 5/8. All right, that was a lot of math. Now these, if you didn't reduce them, you might have a different number as a denominator, and that's okay. Feel free to take a picture and send it to me, and I'll let you know if you got it right or not. All right, so we're going to move on today. So our problem today is going to be writing a fraction as a decimal, and this is with using division. So I'm going to get out my notes. So our skill today is to turn a fraction into a division problem and then write it as a decimal. And if you notice, I'm using gridded paper because one of the main struggles with this skill is forgetting to add the decimal and not lining things up. So I'm going to actually be really purposeful. If you don't have grid paper, take lined paper and flip it to the side, and then you'll have columns you can use to write on. Just use everyday old lined paper. All right, so we're going to start, and we're going to pick, let's pick 3/7. So here's our example number 1. And we worked on this a little bit, but we didn't work on writing it, doing the actual division. Remember I said the only division we haven't done is decimal by decimal and decimal division? Well, now we're getting to it. All right, so we have 3 divided by, just saying this exactly like it's written, 7. So our numerator is our dividend, and our denominator is our divisor. All right, so here we go. I can't divide 3 evenly in 7 groups unless I break it into a fraction or a decimal. So remember what I said, where is the decimal hiding? I say this all the time. Where is the decimal hiding? Behind the number. So we're going to put our decimal behind the number. And right now, if my number is 3, my dividend is 3, I'm just going to turn it into 3, but with nothing in my tens place, because I don't have anything in there. All right, so 7 can't go into 3. Remember, you just divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Okay, 0 times 7 is 0. Bring down. How many groups of 70 can you make out of 30? 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Uh-oh, I still have a remainder. Now this is what most people want to do, is when they get down here, they're just going to write 2 up here. No, You can't do that because it's 2 out of 7 parts. So we're going to go ahead and add another 0. Remember, you can add zeros to the right to infinity and beyond. 7 goes into 20 how many times? 2. 2 times 7 is 14. Uh-oh, I still have a remainder. I can keep adding zeros. 7 goes into 60 8 times. Still have a zero. Still have a remainder. Now, some numbers will never, ever stop. They never, ever stop. It's crazy, and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. 7 goes into 49 5 times. We're going to do one more, and then if we can't find an end to it, we're just going to stop. 7 goes into 50 9 times. Okay, we're going to pause here because this one may be one that's going to go to infinity and beyond. When you're done, you're going to just bring your decimal up. And if I was to check this, if I was to multiply 4, 2, 8, 5, 9 times 7, it wouldn't be exactly 3 because we haven't stopped yet. We're just pausing because our hands are getting tired. But it would be really, really close. It'd be 2.9999999 something. It'd be really, really close to 3. All right, so I want to remind you what you did. You found the decimal hiding behind the number. You added zeros, and you kept bringing zeros down. Usually it'll say, find the answer to the hundredths or thousandths place and round. Or the next thing will happen, and I want to show you what it is, and you can see what happens. So this would be our answer. We're going to find a new piece of paper. And we're going to do 1/3. All right, so our numerator is 1 divided by 3. We find our decimal, and the decimal is always hiding behind the number. We can add as many zeros as we want to infinity and beyond. All right, 3 can't go into 1. Three goes into 10. 3 groups of 3. Uh-oh. What are you noticing? What's happening? 3 goes into 10. What's happening? It's repeating over and over and over and over again. So we bring our decimal up, and your answer is 3 to infinity. It never stops. But my hand would get really, really tired if I was going to write that many 3s. So when it repeats like this, you put a little bar over the 3, and that tells you that it's going to repeat. Now sometimes you might get something that repeats like this, and if it repeats like this over and over again, you would just write the answer as the numbers that repeat with the bar over them. All right, so we're going to look at our lesson. We're actually at the end, so I'm going to let you do some practice on your own. There are only 8 problems. If there's whole numbers, they're just going to be the whole number to the left of the decimal, just like you would any other whole number. And we will start. I'll actually go over. I'm going to go ahead and do the next lesson and post it so that you can check your answers to this one. All right, see you guys soon.